When people talk about the ghost of Arthur Beetson, as we most surely will tonight, it's forever a celebration of happy hearts, filled with magical memories. Big Artie kicked off Origin, and he'll be looking over us tonight as we come together to celebrate the 100th edition of the finest concept rugby league has known. The 100th game of State of Origin. Queensland versus New South Wales. Tonight we relive all the wonderful moments, the characters and heroics, as an honour roll of Origin greats come out live to once again light up the Old Lang Park. And then it's on for young and old.
There's the first try of the game. Now it's a budget. Now it's exploded. It's a chance for Queensland men. Inglis is sprinting.
This is a cracking game of Origin football.
They come in from all over the place. Billy McCann, he has scored another classic Origin try.
Mal Meninga's seemingly invincible Maroons, the best team ever, up against these Blues, so desperate and hungry and determined, the whole world can feel their want. What an occasion, a celebration, the commemoration. Holden State of Origin, Game 100, Queensland versus New South Wales, live. Right here, where sporting history's written. Whole lifetimes of wonder. On your home of rugby league, the home of Origin. Nine's one and only wide world of sports.
The signature of Arthur Beetson, the signature of Origin. In the beginning, the doomsayers cried this concept wouldn't work. Yet here we are, 34 years on, at one of the world's grandest sporting cauldrons and gearing up for Origin Game 100. In my 35 years at the Nine Network, I have been blessed to cover some of the greatest sporting events on the planet. Olympic Games, Soccer's World Cup, Wimbledon, US Masters, and so many other great events. Origin, it's right up there. And of course, what a legacy. Beetson, Lewis, Alfie, Andrew Johns, Turvey Mortimer, Freddie Fittler, men of great courage and character, all with sublime skills. It's through their veins and through their legacy and through their DNA that we have the heart and soul of State of Origin. Welcome to Game 100. And a very good evening to the eighth immortal, Andrew Johns, Queensland royalty, and Darren Lockyer, and your host for the evening, Cameron Williams. Cameron, it's a privilege to be here this evening.
It certainly is. Thank you very much, Ken Sutcliffe. It is a glorious story. And gentlemen, 100 games in. Darren, what is it that you love most about Origin?
That every moment counts, and there's no place to hide in an Origin game. It's the toughest test as a player, and obviously the people, the fans that create the atmosphere and the passion for the game. There's nothing better.
Andrew?
I love the physical side of it. The players will smash each other for 80 minutes and won't give up. I just love the history of the concept, right back from Arthur Beetson right through to Wally and some of the great exploits by Steve Mortimer and these players.
Well, you mentioned the history of it all. This is part of Origin history. It's the pre-game chat between Queensland coach Mal Meninga and Paul Fatty Vautin.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. The big man's here. Hi, champ.
Good, thanks, Fatty. How are you?
Very well, very well. It's a great night, isn't it, for Origin?
It's a fantastic night. A lot of celebration, a lot of milestones tonight, 100th game, and looking forward to it.
Now, I noticed with your team, we all know that the backs score the tries, but the forwards actually win matches. Yeah. I noticed that on the bench for the very first time there's no props. Is that the way the modern game's heading? Oh,
not necessarily. I think, just for our purposes, young Josh Papali can push it in the middle. They call the middle back row these days. They call it the middle, so it's all relative, So Josh is there and Cozza plays up, front for the Broncos as well. So we thought we'd do that, and you gave a bit more mobility on our edges. We've got some younger players, so we're not anticipating them playing for 80 minutes. So we've got to cover those positions as well.
Well, I noticed that the New South Wales, the other mob, they've picked a couple of jumpers on the wings in Brett Morris, who's been there for a bit, and Daniel Tupou, a new player. Yeah. He's a very good jumper. Any more focus on that this week?
Oh, I've done a fair bit of practice on that. Yeah. I mean, you've got to go to your strengths, don't you? So, we're anticipating a bit of a aerial bombardage, particularly on Tatey's side. So we've been doing a fair bit of practice on that all week.
I know the players are going to run past this jumper. This is the inaugural 1980 jumper signed by the remaining survivors of that game, and that'll be a great honour for the players, and you played in that game.
No, it was great, Fatty. You know, Arthur's institution, as far as Queensland Rugby League is concerned, you know, number 11 jerseys getting rested tonight. Young Chris McQueen's, you know, wearing 18, so I think it's a fantastic tribute to the Beatson family in general.
And congratulations on your own statue here at Suncorp. It's pretty handy. Well done.
It's a big one. It's good, though.
Big quads. All right, back to you, boys.
All right, thanks very much. He's so relaxed, Mel Meninga. It must be a big part of his success. And waiting for us in the New South Wales dressing rooms, Coach Laurie Daly and his former teammate, Brett Finch.
Thanks, Cam. Yeah, joined by Laurie Daly. Loz, the boys look nice and relaxed in here. How do you go with the pre-game nerves?
Oh, look, I'm okay. I think I'm okay because we're prepared very well. I think they're in great shape. Can't fault them. They've been meticulous in the way they've gone about it. So I suppose the proof will be in the pudding after 80 minutes.
Mate, a lot of attention around the camp, as usual, especially the halves. How have those boys handled it this week?
They've been great. I mean, they've exceeded my expectation of where they'd be. They've come in, they've been really dominant, very confident, and that gives me great optimism that they'll get the job done tonight.
Mate, what will your last words be tonight to the boys before they run out in front of this crowd?
Oh, I think you've just got to enjoy the occasion. They've done everything possible to get ready. Now it's about going out there and doing it, and actions are louder than words.
Good luck, mate. The whole state's right behind you.
Cheers, Finchy. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you very much, Brett, and Laurie Daly there with a mountain to climb this evening. For the latest wagering information, here's Joel Kane from Sportsbet.
Thank you, Cameron. Just imagine the pressure on the players right now. They can hear all the ambience at the ground. The palms are sweaty. It's a big, big occasion. Queensland, the old Bulls, all their key players in the spine, as they call it, over 30, the experienced ones, versus New South Wales, led by the young halves pairing from the Canterbury side. The first ever time in the starting lineup for Reynolds. The first ever game for young Hodkinson, the debutant. Can they handle the pressure? Well, what about Sportsbet's money back special? Back any side tonight at the head-to-head. If your team loses, but by a margin of 8 points or less, money back thanks to Sportsbet, up to $100 straight back into your account. Keeping in mind as well that 5 of the last 6 State of Origins have been decided by a margin of 8 points or less. The margin betting, they want the Queenslanders big time in a tight affair. Queensland 1-12, well back, $2.75 into $2.65. Now, talking of first try scorers, Greg Inglis, the most prolific try scorer in the history of State of Origin. He's the favourite, $8.50. Parked on his left-hand side, the dangerous side, Darius Boyd, $9.50. Now, for New South Wales, it seems the major threat for Queensland is one Jared Hayne. The Hayne plane to fly out first, he's $10 for New South Wales. What about the first try scorer, money back special? Place a bet in the first try scorer market, and your player does not score the first try, but they do score at any stage of the game, money back courtesy of Sportsbet, up to $100 to return straight back to your Sportsbet account to use as you please. Well, the stage is set. Good luck to all the fans out there. If you're having a bet, you can download Sportsbet's brand new iPad app. It's available from the App Store, or you can go to sportsbet.com.au. Either way, gamble responsibly.
Thank you. We're live in the rooms as the pride of Queensland and New South Wales prepare for Origin Game 100. A reminder, though, that X-Men Days of Future Past is in cinemas now. The ultimate action blockbuster. Hugh Jackman and Jennifer Lawrence headline the biggest X-Men cast ever. X-Men Days of Future Past. It's in cinemas now. Well, after the break, the ultimate celebration of Origin 100 games on. The biggest names of our great game come out live to relive the biggest moments of all. The lights will go out, the stage will be set. But first, an insight into the Blues combination for tonight's game.
The New South Wales VB Blues. 1-17. Jared Hayne, mostly private, at times incredibly shy and currently single. The Hayne plane saves the flash for the field. The Morris twins, identical. Winger Brett and centre Josh. They can even trick their grandmother which one is which. Michael Jennings grew up in Housing Commission in Sydney's West. His mother representing Tonga in netball, his father a champion sprinter. Daniel Tupou, his family once faced deportation, only for his baby sisters crying to win the hearts of immigration. Josh Reynolds, the former apprentice plumber, grew up at Lakemba in Sydney's southwest, where he practiced alone hour after hour at Clempton Park. Trent Hodkinson, not so long ago, worked for $500 a week fixing fire sprinklers and wondering whether he had a future in rugby league. Aaron Woods, a Steve Roach protege from Leichhardt who grew up with Blocker's sons. Tough school, that. Robbie Farah, a Bachelor of Economics who, along with 3 friends, runs Mates on a Mission, giving back to the less fortunate. James Tarmo, at the Cowboys, teammates call him Mr. 100% because he trains so hard, it bugs them. Ryan Hoffman, known and respected as a great team player. Doesn't sound much unless you're part of the team. Bo Scott, an opposition player on the deck, recently said to him, "No one likes you." "I'm not here to be liked," said Scott. Paul Gallen has had 3 professional boxing bouts without loss. So there. Named on the bench, Trent Merrin, Anthony Watmoe, Luke Lewis and Tony Williams. The New South Wales VB Blues.
"100 Games of Origin," brought to you by Holden.
Origin. State of Origin. We come here tonight to Suncorp Stadium, the old Lang Park, not just to celebrate the 100th game of Origin football, but to honour the game's legends, larrigans and legacy. To underline the power of the present and at the same time explore a fabulous future. Let's begin way back when, at the very beginning. When, at the very beginning. Game 1, 1980. And the ghost of Arthur Beetson, Big Artie. By then, my old mate looked more like an unmade bed, king size, than the champion footballer he'd been for more than a decade. Presto, Arthur puts one on Parramatta teammate Mick Cronin. The Maroons triumph, and Origin is defined forever as mate against mate, state against state. So many years, carried on the broad back of the king, the Emperor of Lang Park, Wally Lewis.
Lewis makes his way up, he's got some pace, can he go on the way? Still getting it down from Wally Lewis has scored here, look at this! Lewis, again says something to Gaia, they push and shout. Oh boy!
Ladies and gentlemen, Wally Lewis. MG Mark Guy. Origin, it reaches beyond rugby league, beyond sport, to spellbinding heights where whole towns and suburbs, communities and states and lands beyond our shores are drawn together as one. Little Alan Langer? Don't be fooled. Alfie's a giant. Jared Hayne rules.
He gets there first! On the move!
And Mal Meninga. He can write his own ticket anywhere, anytime. Big Mal Meninga. Steve Mortimer kisses the ground when he captains the Blues in 1985 to their first ever series win. The whole of the Harbour City is still holding its breath tonight, 29 years on, as the lucky number 7 from Turvey Park helps light up the CBD with the vivid expectation only Origin brings. Tommy Radonicus, Sterlo and Brett Kenny, Blocker, Danny Medeiros, Andrew Johns and Brad Fiddler. A bloodied Benny Elias and his doting mum. Barbara was there for Benny back then, just as she's there for him today. Benny and Barbara Elias. We'll never forget Michael O'Connor from the sideline in the pouring rain.
Gets it away nicely.
Choppy close. The Pearl, Steve Renouf. Michael Hancock. Slammin' Sam Backer. Paul Fatty Vorton. Petro and Greg Dowling.
Lewis, a little chip. Ball bounces off the
First players, then coaches, Fatty, Junior, Ricky Stewart and Laurie Daly. There's Gilly and the Chief.
Oh, Gilbuster! On the end of a special!
The King goes.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I've got a little girl to look after now.
Alfie comes back and all's well with the world.
Laying up, danger, danger. Langer's over, is he? Yes! Langer gets the try. Having a magnificent game. What a player. The little legend.
Shane Webke, Billy the Kid, Game 2, 2004. A classic.
He takes the game. He'll get there. He's over. Release Langer. He has scored one of the great Origin tries.
Raging Bull.
Hudson lassoed by Tallis. Look at Tallis. Look at Tallis.
Please welcome Gordon Tallis. Field goals and fightbacks, intercepts and last-ditch efforts to blow your brain.
Reynolds down the touchline. Beach one. Gets it in field. Hancock gets it on. Queensland are coming back. Darren Smith for Langer. Langer gets it away. Here's the big fella. Gets the pass on. Coyne goes for the corner and gets the try. Queensland. It's a miracle. Oh, yeah.
Mark Coyne. A curious couple of iconic coaches, worlds apart in birth and nature. They'd come together 3 times a year to settle the ultimate score. Here they are, together, Wayne Bennett and Phil Gould. Origin, state of origin, near, far and all places in between. From the packed pubs to tiny villages and isolated plains, north, south, east and west, our game tonight remains king. Every year, records. Every year, records. Bigger, higher, faster, stronger, never better, every year. The Maroons, Meninga's men.
Blue slow to get back into the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Lockyer. G.I. Smith, Slater and Scott. They're Origin players. It's a badge of honour. Robbie Farah, the Morris twins, Paul Gallen. And, look out, here's Jonathan Thurston again and again.
Comes back off the left foot and Thurston is over.
Origin. You wait your turn. You burn. You come out of the shadows. And then you shine. For tonight, for this historic 100th game of Origin, one jumper will be rested. Just the one. The Queensland number 11. Rested in respect of the giant of a man who kicked all this off way back when. Defining Holden's state of origin forevermore. The one and the only, Arthur Beetson. Queensland. Beautiful one day, Origin the next. The 4X Maroons, 1-17. Billy Slater, the most capped Queensland #1 ever, spends his spare time promoting literacy to children aged 7 to 12. Darius Boyd, raised by his mother until age 15, then by his grandmother, Delphine. Brent Tate beat career-threatening neck and knee injuries to be man of the match in last year's decider. Greg Inglis, wife Sally's expecting their first child in a few weeks. GI is studying business and marketing at Sydney University. Justin Hodges has beaten depression and 2 snapped Achilles tendons with the help of mum Cheryl, wife Gian and baby boy Carter. Jonathan Thurston, JT, the only Queenslander to have played all 24 games during this 8-year Origin reign. The meticulous Cooper Cronk. After school, he'd jump off the train, then go to the local oval where he'd kick through the posts from different angles. Until he'd nailed 10 in a row, he wouldn't go home. Matthew Scott from remote Ilfracombe in central Queensland. Playing junior footy, his mum Diane would drive the team bus on 8-hour round trips. Cameron Smith grew up in working-class Logan, South Brisbane, and learnt to tackle on his German Shepherd Buster. Nate Miles. In 2012, he proudly wore Arthur Beetson's number 11 jumper to receive the Origin Player of the Series award from Wally Lewis, his boyhood hero. Chris McQueen earned $500 a week as an aluminium worker. Worked hard and got lucky the harder he worked. Matt Gillett dedicated his Test debut in May to Bribie Island teammate and fellow Broncos scholarship holder Todd Parnell, who died 5 years ago. Corey Parker, with wife Margot, welcomed their 3rd child just 10 days ago. Jagger Steele joining big sister Memphis and brother Wiley. Named on the bench, Daly Cherry Evans, Ben Teo, Aidan Guerra and Josh Papali. The Queensland 4X Maroons.
They are a champion side, the 4X Maroons, Origin champions 8 years straight and favourites again. They've missed an amazing pre-game show, but they're about to go out there and put on an even better one. And we welcome Gordon Tallis. It must bring a tear to your eye, Gordon.
Oh, well, it did. I gave the under-16s a jersey, and I got emotional with the under-16, so imagine how these guys are feeling now. You know, this is the real deal. The pre-entertainment was fantastic, but the main event's about to start.
Andrew, what's it like right now as the teams are about to go out onto that park? What's it like to be part of your state?
Oh, there's nothing better. You know you don't want to let your state down, you don't want to let your coach down, your teammates. There's no better feeling. In this moment, all those players would be numb. They wouldn't be able to feel their bodies. The adrenaline running through the players' bodies would just be crazy. It's the hardest time to get through the last half an hour before kick-off. But once they get out on the field, you watch the players' faces once they run on that field.
It's a steely look. It's a nervous look because the talk's done. There was jibes from like both states. But now's the biggest time where you question yourself. You know, have you done the work? What am I going to do? I don't want to let my state down. And it's not the team. You don't want to let the state down. You know, and it's a huge lot of pressure. It's the same for 34 players, but I don't know how the 2 rookie halves are going to feel for New South Wales.
And a huge honour to be playing in game 100. We've got Darren Lockyer and Brett Finch down on the field of play. Brett, you'd already played more than 100 first-grade games when you debuted here in the Cauldron for New South Wales back in 2004. Do you think that made it any easier?
Mate, Cam, I could have played 1,000 games. It wouldn't have made any difference in the world. The noise the crowd made when I ran out was absolutely deafening. It felt like the ground shook at the time, and I knew I was about to play Origin. Now, I'm with a guy who led Queensland out many, many times on this field, Lockie. What was that feeling like? It must have been unbelievable.
Well, obviously the total opposite to you, mate. You know, it's the best 30 metres you could walk, jog, run as a footy player. Coming out of these dressing rooms here at Suncorp Stadium and running out to that roar. It gives you goosebumps. I've got goosebumps now. I can't wait for this one. Back up to you, Cam.
All right, well, Of course, he had the absolute pleasure and the honour of leading his team out as captain here 10 times, Darren Lockyer. And another of the greats, Andrew Johns, has moved over to the touchscreen. Andrew, who do you think is the key player for New South Wales tonight?
Well, I think it's Jared Haynes. To me, he's one of the most complete players I've seen in my lifetime. He has very few weaknesses. He's got all the attributes of all the great players, and he's just got an X factor all over him. Let's have a look at a few of his highlights during his Origin career. This is his debut. Now look at this, picks the ball up, gets him the clear and backs himself on the first play, kicks ahead, and he's one of those players, watch this, the ball bounces in his lap. He's one of those players, he's a special player, special things happen to special players. This is my favourite clip, the next one. Have a look at this, just rewind this. He goes down the short side here, on the outside of Israel Folau. Have a look at how small that is. And have a look at the athleticism and the balance and the awareness here of Hayne. He gets in the clear, backs himself, takes on probably the greatest footballer, the fullback we've seen, and goes over in the corner untouched. There he is, the hay play, taken off. Now from last year's Origin, this is game one. This is only 5 minutes into the game. When he backs himself, some more attributes of Jared. His timing, his awareness, but have a look at the speed, the power and the toughness here to go through that gap, surge through, and the awareness to spin and plant that ball over and score the first try of the series for New South Wales. But not only does he do it with the ball, it's without. Slater doing what he does best, supporting his forwards. Now this is the same game, late in the game, when the Blues are hanging on to a tight lead. Slater breaks in the open field, and look at Hayne, he doesn't panic. He shoots him towards the sideline and says to Billy, "Righto, me and you, Bill, one-on-one." Gets him towards the sideline, tackles him over the ball, pretty much wins the game for New South Wales. He has to be in the game for 80 minutes, and for the Blues to win, I think he has to be man of the match. Now let's talk about Queensland, and in particular Cooper Cronk. He terrorised New South Wales left side last year. He likes to get the ball wide off the dummy half, and he likes to get it across the field, and we pause it there, and he likes to get outside where the halfback defends there. Now last year that was James Maloney, and he likes to hit his back rower here, Sam Thaiday, a big powerful run. Now he won't be there tonight, Sam Thaiday. That'll be Matt Gillett. Watch for that combination between Cronk and Gillett, hitting on the outside of Hodkinson. Once he gets a bit of space, that back rower is so hard to stop. Now, when the game was on the line, a little bit of ad-lib football, I want to point out a few things here. Firstly, have a look where Jonathan Thurston comes from. He knows that there's a threat going down the right side. They hit Thaiday, once again, outside the half. This time, they get the centre involved. You've got Jennings and you've got the halfback involved. So the players know, in particular these two, look at 6 and 7 working together, that they're going to go the same way. There's manipulated the defensive line for the Blues, and they've got players out of position. We pause it there. 2 players, Andrew Fafita, defending where the halfback is, and there's Ryan Hoffman, the most important position there where Michael Jennings should be at centre. Cronk identifies this with Thurston. They go to the line with the game on the line, the series on the line. Once again, the short pass. Hodges goes over to win the game and the series for Queensland. Just watch that combination tonight, Cameron. This guy here, Cronk, and Matt Gillett. 2 great players. Fantastic to watch it through your eyes, Andrew. Thanks very much for that. Now, Sam Thaiday, of course, has played 20 Origins for the Maroons, but as Andrew said, he's injured tonight, and few players know the feeling in the Maroon rooms just minutes before kick-off better than Slam and Sam.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to be in the dressing rooms right now with the boys. They are just going through their warm-up at the moment. Now, the boys probably arrived here knowing that they've done everything, they've ticked all the boxes at training, they've walked into these sheds, saw their jerseys, and they know it's game time. So that's the last little finishing touches now before they run out to this screaming crowd.
Well, they're going to miss him, aren't they? The experience and the enthusiasm of Sam Thaiday.
Certainly are. Last year, I think his first 8 runs, it was all out James Maloney. He's been a big reason why Queensland starts so well. Sam Thaiday starts in his 20 Origins has been absolutely outstanding. So it's a bit, mate, there's a lot of pressure on our back row tonight. You know, Gillett, McQueen, Teo, because they got big shoes to fill.
Nine's Brad Fittler is a 31 Origin game veteran for the Blues, is moonlighting tonight as a New South Wales assistant coach. Freddie, what's the vibe down there like, mate?
Mate, the vibe's very calm, very collected, and it's a lot like the coach, actually. The one thing I've noticed out of the last 2 years, last year, well, Laurie sat back, had a look what was going on, had his input where he had to, but this year he's really made it his own. He made the big decision with the halves early, and I think the players, they've all come together really well. At the moment, they're also running down the end of their warm-up. As you can see, there's plenty of talk. It's about 5 minutes away from the kick-off, and this is the best time of the day, or the best time of the night for the players. There'll be an address from the coach, and then there'll be about 3 minutes when you're in your own head. and that's the best time. And you'll find out what they're thinking, because after this break, we'll be back with State of Origin 1.
Team just waiting the cue to come on out, and they'll be led out by the grandchildren of Arthur Beetson, and they will file past the famous number 11 jumper that is being rested for this match tonight, and the man wearing the number 18 shirt, Chris McQueen, will then pass over the jumper to the eldest of the Beetson grandkids, Pedro. Game 1, New South Wales, as they come together for the final time before they disperse after the anthem. But the importance of Game 1 cannot be overemphasized when you look at the stats. 2/3 of those who win Game 1 have gone on to win the series. Consider this: only once when the Blues have lost Game 1 in Brisbane have they gone on to win the series in over 30 years. So Paul Gallen about to take New South Wales out, and here's his reception. Ninth leadership for Paul Gallen, of course, engaging in that one-sided exhibition in Sydney last year. He's come through injury together with several of his teammates to make it back to this memorable night this evening. There's young Daniel Tupou, the youngest of the New South Wales team at 22 years of age. Paul, as I said, his ninth captaincy. I'm very proud to be out there, but as I said, he was a walking wounded just a few weeks ago. This man, Anthony Watmoe, has had a checkered year. Luke Lewis, you can say the same about him. So we're just waiting for the Queenslanders now. A big reception waiting for them, following the grandkids of Arthur Beetson out onto the park. So not far away will be Cameron Smith, and here he is now with Billy and Greg behind him, and Matthew and Corey Barnes. Now the reception. Crowd absolutely bubbling, and I'm sure brought to that pitch by the fact of the pre-match presentation put together by the New South Wales Rugby League, the NRL, and of course Channel 9. We're standing by for the anthem as the two teams come to face the Western Grandstand. Referees for the match: Shane Hayne in his 13th appearance, Ben Cummings in his 6th appearance. So now let's go to the ground for the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Australian National Anthem, to be performed by Phoebe Panaritos. Phoebe is currently playing the lead role in Baz Luhrmann's Strictly Ballroom the Musical, currently playing at Sydney's Lyric Theatre. Please thank Phoebe Panaritos from Baz Luhrmann's Strictly Ballroom the Musical, based on the iconic film and currently playing at Sydney's Lyric Theatre. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for a special on-field presentation. Our current Queensland number 11, Chris McQueen, is wearing the number 18 tonight. He's resting the number 11 jersey and handing it over to one of Arthur Beetson's eldest grandchildren, Pedro Beetson.
Stage almost set. Start of Origin 100. Is this the start of 9 for Queensland, or is it the beginning of the end for New South Wales?
Much of the talk from Queensland this week is about how they have been ordinary with their starts in recent times. They'll be looking to make up for that in the opening 10 tonight.
So Origin 100 is underway off the boot of Cameron Smith, and sailing down to be fielded back there by young Hodkinson, who sends his forward, James Tarmo, I believe, back to the 10-metre line on the first play of the night. And here's Farah now, out to the 20-metre line. Second tackle of the night, Matt Scott was the man that made that tackle. Ryan Hoffman now. 4 grand finals for Melbourne. Won a Challenge Cup at Wembley. And then from Gallen back through Reynolds, gone to Hayne. In from full back. And he comes towards the western touchline, but pursued and pulled down by Boyd and Thurston. And now for Beau Scott. And he will take it up towards the halfway line. So the Blues just simply concentrating on getting through this first set successfully. And they're going to do that off the boot of Hodkinson. And he kicks with purpose. Bouncing up, though, favourably for Brent Tate. And Tate is hammered by the Blues back on the 20-metre line.
Yeah, it didn't look that fluid, but both halves looking to get Jared Hayne involved into the game early.
So this is Justin Hodges in those bright pink-coloured boots that a couple of the players, in fact several, are wearing. So Queensland with Darius Boyd and now Corey Parker, Aaron Woods and James Tarmo, the props, working together with Beau Scott making the tackle. And then off the boot it comes from Cronk. It was a tackle on Cronk, but it was quite legitimate. And now Daniel Tupou carries it back, and he feels the wrath of the Origin defence for the first time. Played back then for Hodkinson to go to Jennings, and Jennings runs at Greg Inglis. And together there he's brought down in company with Chris McQueen. So to Beau Scott now on the blind side, and Parker is there waiting with Thurston. They mill over the top of him with Miles. And then away for Gallen, and Gallen up towards the centre of the ground, and Scott grimaces as he makes the tackle together with Smith and McQueen. Hodkinson then for Tarmo. Origin 100 and the 49th game at Suncorp. And it will be a promoter's dream if we come back here in 6 weeks' time with a decider, won't it? As this kick goes down to Billy Slater, and Slater's on his way back out to the 10-metre line. Got it away to Tate. Tate is tackled by Tupou, who was enticed off his wing. And the tackle made, but here's a slippery run by Slater, getting it 33 metres out from his own line. Play back then for Cameron Smith, and then for Nate Miles playing in the number 10 shirt. Centre ground, Woods and Gallen making the tackle. Now for Parker, second man play, Thurston, inside ball McQueen, it's gone to Greg Inglis, he turns the ball back for Cooper Cronk, and Cronk will play the ball 27 metres out. Danger for New South Wales. Parker got rid of one and looks to get rid of Woods but can't, and Gallen comes to his assistance. 20 metres out from the line. New South Wales on red alert at the moment, and Miles, the front row forward, kicks. It's not so bad. Tupou flies and comes down with the ball, I think, but he's gone into touch. Hayne inquiring about the feed, and it's gone to Queensland.
Well, he got through the line way too easily, Chris McQueen, a couple of rucks ago, and I'm sure Jared Hayne was very happy that Greg Inglis decided to look for support instead of taking him on. Inside play there, grab in defence, and Hayne, he was delighted that Inglis passed.
Wait till it's out. Wait till it's out.
Golden opportunity for Queensland. Just take a look at where Inglis is standing. They've gone to him in situations like this previously, but there's a huge opening on the blind.
And everybody's on the left.
There's Thurston. Goes deep. Slater comes in. Tate is there. Here's Boyd! Boyd has scored, I think, for Queensland.
What are you checking for?
There's a celebration happening in maroon jumpers. Boyd, a prolific try scorer. Has he got it?
I have a try.
Ben Cummins says I have a try.
Well, if they're looking at the sideline, they have a try. Because on first viewing, he seemed to be well inside that sideline, did Darius Boyd, who has a bit of a habit of scoring the first try in Origin matches. Everybody from the scrum win was over to the left, but they were still able to get on the outside of the New South Wales defenders. And Darius Boyd looks like he has opened the scoring tonight in their first foray in the opposition 20. Put a nice little move on here, did Darius Boyd on Morris. A little bit of interference early on, but the ball was wide of that. And Boyd, momentum takes him over. He's well inside if he's got the ball down.
Well, it's just a matter of whether or not the ball touches the turf in goal here. He's down, he's up, he's down. That's a try. That's a try, and it happened all too easily. The Queenslanders used Greg Inglis as a decoy there. Brent Tate came from the right wing to pass to the left winger to score the try. Beautifully constructed, and Darius Boyd finishes it off. We'll get green lights here for sure.
There'll be some suggesting that Jared Hayne has come in with his knees. I would honestly say that as it comes up, the good news for Queensland, he was just desperately trying to stop a try.
Jared. You're not really going to give him a warning.
Just be careful when we're going either. We're not sliding in with our knees and making contact.
It's a warning on Jared Hayne.
I'm just watching it on.
And there was also a word to Beau Scott about some contact in the lead up to that try.
So Darius Boyd has scored his 13th Origin try. Newcastle supporters will probably tell you en masse that he's been largely below the high standards that he has set for himself playing in the number 1 shirt. But tonight, as is so often the case, Darius Boyd gets his 13th Origin try.
And in his last game for the Knights against Manly, he was outstanding.
He grew up, by the way, with Ben Hannon competing in little athletics. Needless to say, Darius was a tad faster than Ben Hannon. So now Thurston from 21 out and bringing it back, but too much. So Darren Lockyer on the sideline tonight, a try for Boyd.
Yeah, Ray, I watched the Queensland team yesterday at training, and their left side looked very slick. And here they just execute it perfectly. Now, the surface down this end of the field isn't great. You see here, Morris just slips. And that was, in the end, cost them the try you see on the Harvey Norman replay. I've got to say, boys, been at this stadium a lot. Never heard of it this loud.
The Morrises both playing right side. Morris, those twins playing on the right side. And that was a massive hit there on the Queensland kick return from Matt Scott. Tamu and Gallen.
Robbie Farrick, he came out as quickly as he went in.
So now they go away to Corey Parker, and Parker is pulled down just outside the 20-metre line by Hodkinson. So here's Miles now with a carry.
out towards the 30-metre line. Queensland coming down the middle of the park. The AAMI Queenslanders, 4X AAMI Queenslanders, in against the VB New South Wales Blues, and Justin Hodges plays the ball. It comes back to the right foot of Jonathan Thurston, who drives it down, and bouncing up then for Brett Morris in jumper number 2, and he's picked up, and once they pick him up, then that is succumbing in the tackle, and the referee is in turn obliged to call held. Here's Tupou now. He's got a big job in his hands, the youngster. He's playing on the left side. Well, that is his side in club football with Jennings, is it not?
Yeah, he's going to retrieve his boot as well. Nate Miles was able to point 30 metres across.
Dispossessed him, I think is the word, of the boot.
At least it was in the right direction for him to get it back.
Aaron Woods playing it on halfway. A run then for Reynolds, and he turns it back in. Beau Scott then got away from a clutching grab by Miles and is pulled down by Scott in the middle of the ground, 30 metres out. Played by Beau Scott from Newcastle. It's gone back for the kick from Hodkinson, and it's going down gently for Billy Slater. And though he left the ground, he didn't have to. He's gone right through. Slater, pursued by one of the Morris brothers. He's pulled down on halfway. The chase was Josh Morris, who pulled him down. And now, penalty going Queensland.
Yeah, and the penalty's against the other Morris brother for coming in over the top to slow the play the ball. Josh Morris, good chase on Slater, who burst into the backfield. And you'll see the brother coming over the top here to secure him so he doesn't get up and get the quick play the ball. And referee Hayne was right onto that.
They're on early tilt here, New South Wales. They look nervous out there at the moment. They've conceded a fairly soft try. Slater's gone straight through. And now they've got a man up in defence again. Cooper Cronk is leaving the field.
Yeah, he's in a bad way with what looks like a left shoulder. He's come to the sideline as we go across, and it's with Parker.
Cherry Evans on.
And Daly Cherry Evans, possibly the #1 player in the NRL at the moment, comes off the bench, and here is a stepping run by Gillett. And Matthew will play the ball 15 out in front of the patrons down at the Caxton Street end as Hodges goes away to Slater, and Slater's proving quite a handful. Josh Morris and Brett Morris making the tackle, or Josh Reynolds it was. Now Daly Cherry Evans away to Nate Miles, and we'll get a report on Cooper Cronk in just a moment. New South Wales defenders calling for help on the left side. Queensland come back to the right. Oh, great take, Jared Hayne. That was a brilliant piece of work by Hayne. 16 tries have been scored by the New South Wales backs, and Hayne has scored 8 of them. So Tamu brings it away. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, Cooper Cronk, he may have a broken arm. He come to the sideline, and the physio and the doctor wanted to assess him there on the sideline. He overruled him. He said, "No, guys, I'm gone," and hurried up the tunnel. So bad news there for Queensland.
So the meticulous Cooper Cronk, the professor, the wordsmith, and the brilliant footballer that he is, looks like he's gone from Origin 1, possibly from the series. Farah puts a kick in. It's going down, dribbling away into the corner. It'll find the line. Where did he kick that from?
He was outside the 40. No 40-20 here, but a different dynamic comes over the game now. We talk about the inexperience of the New South Wales halves on debut, but this will be the first time in a long time that Queensland have a new #7 leading the way.
Yeah, Daly Cherry Evans, will find out how good he is. This is a major change for Queensland. It's not just losing a man of his ability. It's, of course, we've become used to seeing Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk and Cam Smith working together. They're going to lose a lot of that around the edge of the ruck, their set plays.
It's also a godsend for them that they had him on the bench.
It's a typical example of the depth that Queensland have got. Daly Cherry Evans is out there, and they couldn't have hoped to bring a better player into the game to replace Cooper Cronk. As I said, he could well be the form player of the NRL, Daly Cherry Evans. And that is Matt Scott taking it away to the 30-metre line. Apparently, I'm just being told that Cooper Cronk's arm is broken. So Cooper Cronk has gone with a broken arm for the night. And the charge down from Smith has been scooped up by Jennings. This is the sort of stuff that he's so dangerous at. And Jennings will play the ball for Farah to come to Scott on the right side. And Scott is wrestled down by Inglis 30 metres away from the Queensland line. Down towards the Milton Road end of the ground, and it's Gallen with the ball. Playing it just outside the 20-metre line. Back for Farah, now for Woods, and the run around to Farah, then on to Hodgkinson, a cutout ball. Hey, knocked down there by Hodges. So New South Wales have got a good opportunity here. Loose head and feed about 19 metres out.
Well, that's exactly where Queensland scored their first try, from a scrum win inside the opposition 20-metre zone. And Hodges there, desperate not to let the ball get to Jennings. I know that Justin Hodges fears the speed of Jennings, and he does quite often get up and prevent the ball getting as wide as that. And you saw there, he wasn't going to let Hayne get the ball to the speeds that's on the outside. But let's see what New South Wales can conjure up here from a scrum win 20 metres out.
We've got Paul Gallen playing out in the centres. But good possession now. It was a poor kick from Cameron Smith straight into a New South Wales defender. Wonderful opportunity.
So Reynolds from Canterbury to Hayne, from Parramatta to Josh Morris. And Morris will play the ball back to brother Brett. 10 metres out from the line. Got in from the western side. And Hayne is smothered to the ground by Scott with help from Parker. Then it's Farah. Then Gallen, who throws a dummy to Farah on the runaround. But so they're now at the middle of the park, and Farah goes long to Hodgkinson, and then to Hoffman, and Hoffman is a couple of metres from the line. So Reynolds a dummy half to Hodgkinson, he grubber kicks, and Hayne is coming fast. Ingles beats him to the punch, but it's a line dropout, and New South Wales get another set.
And it's good pressure. An early kick there. A couple of times they've got outside Daly Cherry Evans. The first time Justin Hodges knocked the football down, that time Cherry Evans was forced to make a desperate tackle on Ryan Hoffman.
This is what we think happened to Cooper Cronk. Nate Miles was the 10. Gillett came over the top. And we seem to think that somewhere on the line, Nate Miles and his contact had something to do with the injury to Cooper Cronk. The line dropout was good, 50 metres of it. Aaron Woods carries it back, and he'll play the ball just outside the 30-metre line. The West Tigers front row forward, who of course followed Manly with great devotion as a youngster growing up. Reynolds back for Hayne. Hayne on to Josh Morris. Greg Inglis has got him eventually. It was touch and go for a couple of metres though. And Scott it is, getting it on. Reynolds pushing it through. Tamo with the ball. And Tamo is 9 away from the line. Playing it to Farah. Farah to Gallen. The run around again. The short ball to Woods. And Woods hard to stop, but he's held up. Short is the long.
Plenty of people in the tackle. Space is off and out wide after that.
So Farah goes back to Hodgkinson. They set for Tupou. They set for the youngster. There he goes. There comes the ball back down to Queensland, though. So they had well rehearsed for that particular play from New South Wales.
Well, it wasn't a particularly good kick from Trent Hodgkinson either. It was too far away from the try line. Matt Scott now winding it up. They'll be looking for a good set here. They've had very little possession in the last 5 minutes.
Cherry Evans is the dummy half, and Inglis is the man that's asked to take it away. And he'll play it on the 30-metre line. Tamo and Woods making the tackle.
Good run there from Darius Boyd coming in to help out. That's the last. Josh Papali on for Matt Scott. As Cherry Evans kicks from inside his 40, but straight down the middle of the field.
And Jared Hayne back to his own line. bringing it back. So Matt Scott is off. And the Canberra Raiders' Josh Papali is on. Played well in the World Cup. Penalty goes against Queensland, interfering with the man playing the ball. So the Blues will kick it over into the Eastern Grandstand.
And that last little period there for the Blues. A scrum win, a line drop out, and now a penalty gets them a flow of possession to get themselves into the game. It looks like the nerves have settled. There was enough ball movement at the far end of the field there to suggest that there are points in this team. There was some great Queensland defence to keep them at bay, but I think the Blues would have got a lot out of that last 5 or 6 minutes.
Here's the Queensland dressing room, Cooper Cronk, and the door being slammed in our faces. But Cooper Cronk, a broken arm, we're told from Andrew Johns. The penalty count at 1-1 and some running repairs for a couple of players. Brent Tate for Queensland, and there were one of the New South Wales players at the same time getting some blood fixed up, or plugged up might be the proper word.
Gus, you're right about the battle that's going on at the moment. The Blues seem to be making around about 40-45 metres every set of 6. Queensland are restricted to about 30.
Yeah, it's just that little bit of possession they got there, Wally. 3 sets of 6 in a row, and as you know, that can really change a game. This is Brent Tate, we think, copping his injury that he's currently being attended to. The coaching staff for the Blues and Laurie Daly saying, why are we holding the game up? Why can't we play on? We were just on a roll.
Daly and Meninga, of course, playing in 3 successful Canberra grand final winning sides. As New South Wales take the tap and Gallen gets it just over the halfway line. Miles over the top of Gillett. Now with Woods. Good tackle. The 17 Papali involved with Miles again. Woods looking for penalty, not getting it. Gallen, then Reynolds, now Hayne. And Hayne is away from Thurston. Got the ball away to Morris. Josh back to his brother Brett and the identical twins. They celebrate an Origin try.
He's hurt himself. He's in agony, the try scorer.
So Brett Morris in awful trouble.
But brilliant work on his inside. We've seen this play from New South Wales a couple of times tonight. And Jared Hayne able to get outside his man and create for the Morris boys. Brett Morris to his feet now. Second man to Josh Reynolds. He goes behind Scott. And then the acceleration and explosiveness of Jared Hayne, to beat 2 men and create an overlap on the outside. The inside pass for the try.
The bench celebrates. So as you come back to us, Brett Morris has scored the try. That's official. That is beyond question. The fitness of Brett Morris is not. That's Dr. Nathan Gibbs, who celebrated a long career in rugby league and with South Sydney. He is the Origin doctor, and he's just asking a few of the questions, and Ron Walker is with him.
Yeah, I've got no doubt that the shoulder probably came out and has gone back in. He's much more relieved at the moment, but the question is to whether or not he's fit enough to continue.
But let's stay with this kick, and this fellow has been a real Robin Hood of accuracy in the goal-kicking department. On debut, the Canterbury half. Trent Hodkinson, he's hooked it wide. It tried to come back, believe it or not. And Brett Finch, what's happening with Brett Morris?
Well, it doesn't seem as bad as first thought down here, Rabs. He had his strength tested in his arm, and it looks like he will come back on. He's coming back onto the field now, so great signs for New South Wales.
It's amazing, because the first I thought, how brilliant's this try, and then the co-commentators went up and they was thinking of the worst possible scenario for Brett Morris.
Well, he hyperextended there when he put his arm out to score the try, and that can damage the shoulder fairly easily, but he's out there. The restart. Tamo, no, in fact, it's Woods bringing it back now from the Hayne catch.
So Aaron Woods playing it back to Robbie Farah and then for Ryan Hoffman.
It's like I said earlier, when they had a couple of visits down there, Jared Hayne is definitely making the Queensland defenders nervous on both sides of the field.
Scott has been good. He's been conspicuous down this right side. He mightn't have the bells and whistles of Jared Hayne, but he's certainly causing himself to be a menace to the left edge of the Queensland defence. Played by Big James Tamo. And here is Paul Gallen bumping and shoving his way forward towards the middle of the ground. Then we've got a scoreboard that is locked up at 4 points all, Queensland and New South Wales, and this ball rolls over the touchline off the boot of Josh Reynolds. It will force a scrum 15 metres out from the Queensland line.
Yeah, that's nice. After scoring points, just to get the ball the other end of the field, and nothing too flash about that set of 6. And we've got a game on here, I can tell you. Queensland brilliant out of the blocks, but the Blues, although nervous early, have steadied and shown their hand. Jared Hayne is their man. They are going to him on both sides of the field at every opportunity. And the Queenslanders have just steadied a little bit as they ease Daly Cherry Evans into the combinations.
Watmo is out there for the Blues now. Very seldom in the 24-match reign of Queensland over the 8 years. Cooper Cronk has come back to the bench now with that troublesome arm in a temporary sling, probably more than temporary. This is Papali with the ball. Watmo went on for Tamo, by the way. And here is Justin Hodges taking it out in typical Hodges fashion. And Queensland are stacked up at the moment. They're just sort of in a little circle around, waiting for the kick from Daly Cherry Evans. It's high down to Hayne, and he's had an impeccable start to the game. The leg has been lifted. Referee calling held, and Hayne will play the ball 20 metres out. And here's Tupou playing certainly at his highest level, apart from grand final, but I think this game is the toughest of all. And Watmo will play the ball 30 metres out now from the Blues line. They're running away from the famous Caxton Street end of the ground. And Gallen got a ball back. He was almost on the ground. Reynolds was the only one that stayed alert, actually. And that was good work by the Canterbury 5/8. And now it's Farah who throws a dummy. His confidence is growing, thinking, hang on, they might be slowing up down the middle. Hayne again, Reynolds again, Scott again, and then Slater comes in. But they're making some metres here, and some easy metres at that. There's the penalty. Penalty goes to the Blues.
Yeah, great football by New South Wales. Willing to offload in their own territory, move the ball around, and run Queensland around.
Paul, and he's jumping.
And if there is to be a criticism of New South Wales over the last few years, is that they haven't played enough football. They haven't been willing enough to move the ball in early tackles or offload and try and get some second phase play going. They're doing it tonight.
So we'll take a break from Origin, number 100, and come back.
Oh, outpointed.
Yeah, unnecessary.
So welcome back to Origin. Coming to you from Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. And of course, exclusively live on the 9 network around Australia, and of course the host broadcaster 9 for the global pictures that are going around the world. So Justin Hodges was running repairs on his right wrist, and the Blues are going to take the shot off the boot of Hodkinson.
Yeah, plenty of players extracting that done in a bit of downtime there, and that was on the last tackle, that penalty against Queensland. You don't want to give a penalty away at all, and you certainly don't want to give them away at the end of the tackle count. Josh Reynolds straight across to chat to the sideline. He was deep in conversation with Brad Fittler as Hodkinson looks to put the Blues in front.
Well, they haven't won a penalty count more than once in the last 9 visits to Brisbane, if memory serves me correctly, and Hodkinson raises the flags. So his nerves have settled down. There was nothing wrong with his start, don't get me wrong, but 6'4", even a kick in front like that would be a bit nerve-wracking, and now it looks like he's calling for some change to the apparel.
Yeah, blood on the front of his jersey, Ray, and the referees wanted that taken care of, so... Trent! Got Ronnie Palmer coming out now to rectify the situation.
Well, the challenge for the Queenslanders would have been to start well, make sure they try and take all the confidence away from New South Wales. They can't afford to just sit back and wait for the Blues to make some mistakes. This team are growing in confidence every set of 6.
That was a little cameo in back play as Hodkinson was putting his jumper on over his head. Nate Miles gave him a little don't.
Well, I don't know why they didn't kick it at Hodkinson while he was trying to put his jersey on. I don't know what he would have done.
Now they're cleaning the blood off the legs.
So the Blues then bringing it out from the 20-metre line. Miles obviously working on the theory one's favour deserves another, and when Hodkinson looked like the hooded monster putting his new jumper on, Miles gave him a don't argue, just to shake him up a little bit, let him know that he's playing in the big game now. And here's Gallen carrying it up to halfway, and he's put down right in the middle of the park. Talking of Park, Parker was in the tackle with Gillett, and then Hodkinson, after all of the commotion, has been able to calmly put a kick down the ground, but Slater is there, and Hoffman makes the tackle.
Trent Merrin out there now for the Blues after a very good opening stint from Aaron Woods.
Oh! Brent Tate has been picked up and cartwheeled by Josh Reynolds, and the Maroons are not happy, and Brent Tate, who we have documented many times, plays this game with unbelievable courage and with a neck brace, has been picked up and cartwheeled. Scott and Reynolds. Scott at the top, Reynolds underneath.
Well, it's spectacular and it's dangerous.
He hasn't landed in a dangerous position.
He's straight on his back.
Sorry.
Sorry. It's a dangerous position. Yep. On report, that's a penalty. Okay.
So dangerous position and on report.
And Beau Scott played quite a role in that.
He was the one dragging him down with any velocity at the end. There's no doubt about that. So...
I'm a one-eyed Queenslander, Sturlo, and I think that that tackle, 2 men were in the tackle. Neither of them had the intent to pull off a dangerous tackle. That's what the problem is of having 2 in the tackle, though.
Well, now that was passed by Miles back to a support player, and then that's been described as a knock-on, and the Blues now celebrate.
Yeah, I think he hit Cameron Smith right in the mouth with this. Miles had plenty of attention from defenders, and the last thing his teammate was thinking is he was going to unload the ball. He goes in, he flops it out, and he hits Cameron Smith straight in the mouth with it. Wasn't ready for it at all.
So the scrum about to pack. Andrew Johns, what's it like on the sideline, the atmosphere and all of that?
No, it's sensational, Rabs. They put a show on up here at Suncorp. They're right behind it. I've got to say that the roar when Queensland run on the field, it near knocks you over. They get right behind their crowd. But I've got to say, the last 15 minutes, the pressure New South Wales have put on Queensland, I thought that was shown then in that era. the forced offload there from Nate Miles.
All right, so Watmo standing out of his scrum takes play out to the 40-metre line in the middle of the ground. Farah now for Merrin, and Merrin up to the halfway line. His girlfriend Sally Fitzgibbon watching the game in Fiji tonight. And a run from Farah to the 40-metre line now.
Yeah, there's no doubt New South Wales are on top. They're on the scoreboard as well now. That generous flow of possession certainly helped, but they look very dangerous when they've got the football now.
Watmo suspended. Then Reynolds shovels it out. Picked up by Gallen. No knock on. Beats one. But Parker makes the tackle on the 5th. On the 20-metre line. Queensland's end. We're down the southern end of the ground. Hodgson kicks. Right back by Tupou. Jennings might scoop this up. No, it's gone over the sideline, I think, off Queensland.
Yes.
I think it's gone off Justin Hodges. And it has. Billy Slater argues that Shane Hayne has already indicated it will be a Blues feed.
And that's the pressure of having a go-to man on tackle 5 with your kicks. Jennings cleverly doesn't play at that, and it's Hodges who get his foot to the ball to knock it dead. You could argue he probably didn't play at it either, it just hit him. But the scrum feed has gone to New South Wales, and they are way on top. Not just a little bit, they are way on top. Queensland are rattled at the moment.
Let's go. Okay, here we go. Justin. Bend it.
Indication of where Queensland think the attack is going to come from. They've got Jonathan Thurston standing on the wing, left-hand side in defence.
There's Reynolds throwing a dummy, and then Miles sort of attacked him with half a shoulder charge. Plays it right in front of the uprights, and Watmo is with the ball. Watmo taken down, as you can see, about 3 metres out from the line. Farah might be run around again here. Merrin backing up into the defence. And looking to unload, he did. And Farah got the ball back inside for Hodkinson. The Canterbury 7.
Massive space to the right.
Play the ball. Space on the right. We're hearing from the back of the commentary box. Gallen away. Scott has been fumbled by the Morris brother. Morris. And it's over the sideline. And it's a feed again here for New South Wales.
Yeah, it's all going their way now. Watch this. Morris is being pulled towards the sideline, throws it back in field. Thurston didn't want to play at this. He tried not to play at it. But in the end, he put his hands on it, and he too was bundled into touch. He doesn't want to play on it. He goes down, and then he's pushed over the sideline. New South Wales, more pressure here. Now, this is the first scrum win they'll have where they can move the ball to the left. So a different dynamic here from this scrum win.
Well, there's no doubt Jonathan was trapped between a rock and a hard place, because if he doesn't dive on it, the other Morris twin, he's got a chance of scoring, even if it was a very slender blindside. Played then by Watmo. They come back to Reynolds. Then Haynes in. Hayne looking to break through. Haynes over the line. Jared Hayne has almost back somersaulted over the line to score. Shane Hayne has called it a try. Wants examination.
They'll look at the momentum here as to whether the tackle was completed or whether he had the opportunity to do that backflip. He nearly went straight through initially, did Jared Hayne, and Jonathan Thurston was able to grab him. He rolls over.
He's broken the tackle, and that's legitimate.
There's not a problem there.
I'm pretty certain he's broken the first tackle, and then the built-up momentum. See there, he's broken the tackle, so he goes on with it from here. Now it's all momentum, and then the lunge. That's a fair try to Jared Hayne.
Yeah, it is. The referee indicated his belief was that it was a try. We're only looking whether something has gone wrong, whether it was actually a double movement. But if he's cleared, everything is okay. That's a certain 4-pointer going to the New South Wales tally.
It'll be his 9th try in his 18th Origin game. I made the point, between them the backs have scored 16 tries, and Hayne has scored 50% of them.
Before the game, you heard Andrew Johns talk about the importance of that man on screen, the number 1 for New South Wales tonight, and he has been their most dangerous.
Decision. Try for Jared Hayne, his 9th at Origin level.
Jonathan actually lets him go.
And then?
Jonathan actually lets him go, then re-grips him. Okay, so then the tackle still continues, and then we've got a try. So everything's fine. That's
he's
fine.
allowed to get up and go
Yeah,
again.
absolutely. When he lets him go, yeah. He breaks free of the tackle.
So Jared Hayne returning down to the northern end of the ground after scoring that, you've got to say, opportunist try, but it had all of the intensity of Origin about it.
And Cameron Smith came and questioned the referee and was told that Jonathan Thurston fell off the tackle and that entitled the ball carrier to continue on. And psychologically, a big kicking coming up here for Trent Hodkinson to put the side outside a converted try in front.
So Hodkinson 10 in, 22 out, and it's away just on the edge of the upright. Andrew Johns then, a comment sideline.
Oh, he's unstoppable tonight, Jared Hayne. He's 26 years old. That's when you're around your footy career, you hit your peak, and you get the feeling the next 4 or 5 years he can really own this arena at Origin level. New South Wales needed him to stand up tonight in the opening 35 minutes, hasn't he delivered?
The last time the Blues won the first game in Brisbane was 2003. And since then, in Brisbane, have won just 3 of 14. And 2 of those were dead rubbers. And here they are at the moment, perched at 10-4 in front, and 5.5 minutes of the opening half remaining. Cooper Cronk off with a broken arm. Trent Merrin was who took it ahead. And here is Tony Williams in for his first essay in the game tonight. Former teammate of Trent Hodkinson. They played at Sunshine Coast in 2009 together when they won the grand final as the Manly Feeder Club. Here is Morris playing the ball, and they take it up towards halfway. New South Wales with a lead now of a converted try, 10-4. Gallen plays the ball. Reynolds stabs a kick from just inside his own half. Down to Darius Boyd, who got the first try of the night. And he runs it back to the middle of the ground, to the middle of the 20-metre line. Daly Cherry Evans came on to replace Cooper Cronk, just in case some of you might be late arrivals to Origin 1 and Origin 100. And Cherry Evans gets rid of a would-be tackle before Hoffman puts him to an end.
Yeah, crucial 5 minutes coming up here to the break. Always plays such a role in how the sides go into the sheds.
And that's got to be a penalty, Queensland. Merrin is saying they were hanging on to me.
Well, the pocket referee was yelling out, milking, milking. That means the man with the ball is not trying to play it. He's trying to draw a penalty.
Cameron, that's the mark there.
And then the main man with the referee has decided to penalise.
That's a good touch finder inside the 30.
And this will be the first time in a long time Queensland have visited this end of the field. They've had no field position at all.
And a good run. A hulking run by Matt Scott. 11 metres out from the line. Cameron turning it back in for Matt Gillett. And he struggles to a couple of metres out. 10-4 then. New South Wales leading close to half-time. Thurston dummied, held it, gave it to Slater. Slater to Inglis. And Inglis is held by Josh Morris. And the Blues come from all over the park when Greg Inglis has got the ball. Boyd dummy half. Thurston at first, Parker at second. And Parker 8 metres out from the line. Cameron across the ground, linking with Cherry Evans. Knocked on by Gillett. And then knocked on by Hayne. First knock on is Queensland. And a 10-metre scrum will see New South Wales get the ball.
Well, if you recognise that play, Queensland have used it plenty of times before. You may remember Sammy Thaiday scored a try off it the last time they played here.
Okay,
an opportunity for Queensland to do it. Unfortunately, not able to control the ball, but that is excellent defence being displayed by New South Wales.
Wally Lewis reminding me of a couple of the great warriors of the modern era not in this contest tonight. 1, Sam Thaiday, and 2, Greg Bird.
And I'd like New South Wales to get aggressive here in this last couple of minutes, because there's a disappointment for Queensland. While they're ruining that lost opportunity, if New South Wales could strike and get a second try in front, it's a big blow right on the stroke of half-time.
Watmo it was who played the ball. Williams, former junior champion, all-rounder in basketball and shot put and the 400 metres. Tony Williams. He's in some good form this year. Gallen did well. Reynolds was there. He's always there. He's a wonderful support player, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, the offloads are killing Queensland tonight. A lot of second phase play has them rattled.
Now Farah goes dancing 10 metres down the ground before he met any resistance, and that was Matt Scott. And then Hodkinson gets the kick in, doesn't trouble Slater. Tate comes back. Brent's obviously okay from that tackle earlier. But I agree with Peter, both Scott played probably as big a part, if not a bigger part, than Josh Reynolds. Now it's away from Papali to Thurston, and Thurston to Boyd. And Josh Morris, a renowned defender, pulls him down. Thurston for Parker. And something in the back play there with Thurston and Morris eluded me for the moment. Now it's gone away. Smith getting it on for Scott to go away to Papali. So Papali, 8 metres into Blues territory. Here's Cherry Evans, then Thurston, now Inglis, and again one of the Morris brothers is there. It's Brett this time. And he'll play the ball, Greg, inside the 30. Boyd to Thurston. He puts a kick in. He was hammered. The ball is underneath Hayne, and Hayne has got the ball cleanly. Tackled immediately by Hodges. Gets up, snarls something at him. They push and shove. And here's Gallen now taken by Hodges. So the referee calling time. And what a half of football. Queensland away to one of their normal brilliant starts with a try by Boyd. The body language good from the Blues as they lead. Here's Brett Finch.
Yeah, with the captain Cameron Smith. How do you see that, mate?
We started well, Finchy, but just turned over too many balls there early, and gave away a bit of a few errors and penalties, and just we were camped on our own try line, mate. And something we need to fix. We need to play down there in next half.
Good luck in the second half, mate.
So Brett Finch there talking with Queensland captain Cameron Smith. Coming up next in Holden half-time, Gordon Tallis, Andrew Johns, Paul Vaughton joining Cameron Smith for the first half highlights. Brought to you by Australian Unions. All the major plays. This is Holden State of Origin, Game 100. Live on the 9 NBN and WIN networks.